You have lost something, maybe everything. And right now, the gap between where you are and where you were feels like it cannot be crossed. This video is for that exact moment, and it starts with the one thing nobody tells you about loss. The comeback is not a return to what you had. It is the construction of something that could not have existed without the loss. In the next 8 minutes, you will understand exactly how that construction works and why most people never complete it. Watch until the end.
Stage 1. Stop fighting the reality of what happened. The psychology. The first and most costly psychological error after significant loss is the refusal to fully accept the reality of what has happened. The mind, in an attempt to protect the self, generates narratives of reversal. This is not really over. It can be undone. There is still a way back to exactly what was. This narrative consumes energy that could be directed toward building forward, and it produces a state of suspended animation where neither mourning nor building can happen effectively.
The stage. 1. State what happened in the plainest possible language, without qualification, without hope of reversal. This is gone. It is not coming back in the form it had. 2. Allow yourself a defined period to feel the full weight of that, not indefinitely, but specifically. A week, a month, defined and bounded. 3. At the end of that period, ask, what does the person who has accepted this fully do next? Stage 2. Extract the intelligence before it fades. The psychology. Loss contains diagnostic information that is only fully visible in the immediate aftermath, before the brain begins its natural process of reframing, minimizing, and forgetting the details that are most painful.
The information available in the rawness of loss is the most accurate available assessment of what was wrong, what failed, and what needs to be built differently. Most people waste this window by using it only to grieve. The stages. 1. Within the first month of a significant loss, write down in specific detail the 3 primary factors that contributed to it. 2. For each factor, identify one decision, one habit, or one structural choice that either caused it or failed to prevent it. 3. Treat this document as the blueprint for what cannot be repeated in the next version, not as self-punishment, but as intelligence. Stage 3. Rebuild identity before rebuilding circumstances. The psychology. The most common comeback error is attempting to rebuild external circumstances before rebuilding internal identity. People rush to restore what they had, the job, the relationship, the status, the income, before rebuilding the internal foundation that those things were built on.
The result is that the rebuilt circumstances collapse again, often faster than the first time, because the foundation has not changed. The stage. 1. Before making any major external move toward rebuilding, identify one core belief about yourself that contributed to the loss and replace it with an evidence-based alternative. 2. Build one new daily practice that reflects who you are becoming, not who you were before the loss, but who you need to be for the next version to hold. 3. Let the identity lead the circumstances, not the other way around.
Stage 4. Build in public silence. The psychology. One of the most consistent patterns among people who successfully rebuild after significant loss is that they do so in relative silence, sharing the process selectively, protecting the rebuilding from the social pressure of expectation and the energy drain of explaining themselves.
People who announce their comeback before it exists often fail to complete it, because the social acknowledgement of the intention produces a partial dopamine reward that reduces the drive to complete the actual work. The stage. 1. Make the decision to rebuild privately. Tell only the people whose practical support you need. 2. Do not announce timelines, goals, or intentions to anyone who will not directly contribute to executing them. 3. Let the result be the announcement. Show up with the finished thing, not with the plan for it.
Stage 5. Let the comeback be bigger than the original. The psychology. The final stage of psychological rebuilding is the shift from restoration to elevation. The decision that the end point of the comeback is not a return to the previous level, but the construction of something that the previous version of you could not have built. This shift is only possible after the preceding 4 stages, because it requires the intelligence extracted from the loss, the rebuilt identity, and the focused silence of the building period. People who skip stages 1 through 4 almost never reach stage 5.
The stage. 1. Define explicitly what bigger than before looks like in specific, measurable terms. 2. Identify one capability, insight, or resource that you now have specifically because of the loss that you did not have before it. 3. Build the new version on that asset. The loss gave it to you. It belongs in the foundation. Loss is not the end of the story. It is the most expensive education you will ever receive. The only question is whether you graduate from it or repeat the course.